All right, let's talk about voter ID for a minute. This thing has got me fired up. This is absolutely ridiculous. What's with these people? They don't want voter ID. Oh, it infringes on the minorities. That's a bunch of bullshit. I know all kinds of minorities. I have minorities that work in our neighborhood, cutting the grass, putting on roofs. I've asked every single one of them. They don't give a shit if you have voter ID or not, because if they can't vote, they can't vote. And if they can vote, then they do vote. And guess what? I have a news flash for you. They're not voting Democrat. They don't want any more immigrants here, because more immigrants here is going to take away their jobs. I personally know people who are here from other countries who do not want more immigrants here, because they're afraid their jobs will be taken away. So combine the $15 an hour that you're looking to increase with the amount of immigrants, illegal immigrants, that are coming into this country. Our kids will never be able to get a job, ever. It's absurd. You're either going to have immigrants working the jobs for $15 an hour, which I don't really see happening, or robots, touchscreens. That's how you're going to order your food from now on. Or when you go out to a restaurant, guess what? You're going to pay $15 for a freaking appetizer. You're going to pay $40 for a dinner. And that's that's at Denny's, okay? So I don't know what you people are thinking about this voter ID thing, but you have lost your mind. When I go to the doctor's office, when I get on an airplane, it doesn't matter where you go, you need ID. If I'm driving down the street and I get pulled over, the first thing they ask me for is an ID. Now, I've watched all these videos and I've listened to all these people doing these interviews and asking minorities. I even saw an interview today where they were asking minorities if they had ID, and a lady walked past and she said, I live under the bridge over there. They said, well, just curious, do you have an ID? And she said, of course I have an ID. Everybody has a freaking ID. This country gives you the privilege to vote, to determine who's going to represent you, and all you have to do is give them an ID. I've yet to meet a person who doesn't have an ID or who doesn't have the capacity to get an ID. What are you talking about? Intimidates them. It intimidates them? I don't think they're intimidated about an ID, okay? I think you people are intimidating everybody with all of your rambling threats and all of your innuendos that you keep throwing out there. You're just piling it on. Guess what? The patriots in this country are going to pull together, and they're going to reverse this nightmare that you've caused, and we are ultimately going to win. Do you know what the word will means? Look it up. It means inevitable. That's why the name of this organization is Patriots Will, because it's inevitable. We're going to win. And now this is for you patriots out there. I want to share something with you. Rules of engagement, that's an oxymoron. There's no such thing as rules of engagement. If you're in war, you're in war. And if you're not in war, then there's rules of how society should work. But there are no rules of engagement. We tried that in Vietnam, remember? And got our asses handed to us. While we fought like this, they were jumping out of trees and out of tunnels. So don't tell me about rules of engagement. Every time we've instituted rules of engagement in war, we've got our asses handed to us. We're not going to do it this time. Not with the Democrats and the Republicans and the rhinos. We're not doing it anymore. The patriots are going to band together, and we're going to take this country back, and we're going to put it back on the path that it was originally put on. And the piece of paper that says, here's the instructions on how to run this country, it's called the Constitution. And you all out there need to read it. Because if you don't understand what it means, then maybe you should Google it. Google will tell you all about it. The Constitution. Each state makes their own rules. So we're not going to have passports here in Florida. You're not going to force us to have passports. It's not going to happen. All right? You're not going to force us to wear a mask. It's not going to happen. This is Florida here. That's not how we roll. So in case you're wondering how this is going to go, you all should take a look at Florida, because this is the model. And then we're coming for all of you. And we're going to turn this country around and put it back on the track that it is supposed to be on. And Florida is the model to do that. Our governor is absolutely awesome. He's doing all the right things. He might not be popular with some people, but I don't really give a shit. He's not running a popularity contest. And I've heard people say, well, what's he think he's going to do? What, is he running for another office? I hope he runs for another office. I hope he runs for president so he can put all you wine bags to bed. Because I'm so tired of you libtards. You have no freaking clue what's going on in this country. They are stealing the country from underneath your feet, and you don't even see it. You're so stupid. You're sitting there all smoked out. Oh, yeah, they're going to make marijuana legal, so I'm happy. Listen, I don't give a shit if you smoke out or you don't smoke out, but wake up for 5 minutes and pay attention to what's going on, all right? Put the joint down, sober up for a minute, and pay the fuck attention, all right? Because they're trying to take this country away from us. Not the libtards, because the libtards are like freaking zombies. They just follow. They're like sheep. They just keep going. They're called sheeple. They just keep going. It's not the libtards that are screwing it up. It's the Chinese. It's the Russians. And if you think they're not paying attention to what's going on, to our stupid frickin' president stumbling up the stairs and having to resort to looking at a picture book in order to know who he's going to call on and what their name is and what he should do next. What's my next question? Let me see. What do they tell me to do? And sometimes he's so gone, he actually reads what's on the card. Do this next. Do this next. I'm supposed to do this next. Hang on. Jim, where are you? Jim Acosta, where are you? Trump made you famous. Where are you, Jim? Oh, Jim's gone. They're all going to be gone. All this fake media, they're all going to be gone. They're on the wrong side of history. And trust you when I tell you, in time, they're all going to be gone. There's going to be a whole new trend of how the news is reported. And it's going to be reported as is. What you see is what you get, not interpretation. I'm so sick of this interpretation shit. I'm just over it. Trying to teach our kids in school math. 2 plus 2, well, if you think about that and, come on, Common Core, are you kidding me? I mean, I could go on and on and on. These libtards have put so much stupid shit into everyone's brain. No one knows which side is up anymore. We're upside down. This country, is this what do the kids call it? We're reverses day or whatever, opposite day. Every day, it's like Groundhog Day and opposite day every day. Down is up is down. If you think you're a girl and you're a guy, then you're a girl. No, it doesn't work like that. Does everybody forget about science? Oh, what about the COVID thing? We're going to follow science. We're going to follow science. Well, follow this science. If you're born a boy, you're a boy. And if you're born a girl, you're a girl. Do you understand? You don't get to change just because your brain thinks that you want to be different. Now, personally, I don't give a shit what you think you are. But you're not going to go use the restroom in some little girl's restroom and you're a guy. That's not going to happen while I'm around. So, as they say, I double dog dare you to give that one a try. Because when you leave that girl's restroom, you might be a girl. Because I'm going to physically remove the stuff that makes you a guy. because that's just not right. Not really. Just kidding. Can't say that kind of stuff. That's not politically correct. Let me back up here. Let me calm down. Whew. Got me all riled up there with all this nonsense news that they're putting out there. It's absolutely nonsense. And it's time that everybody gets a grip on reality. And it's time that the patriots band together and take this country back. So I'm going to leave it at that for right now. Calm down a little bit. You have a great evening. Patriots will out.